He stumbles and falls, and the employee, seeing the whole situation, runs towards him and asks if the boss is okay. The boss replies that he got all dirty and dropped everything. The employee then says he wants to help, but the boss asks Gustavo to be calm, saying that everything is fine and that he made the mess himself, and that the employee can be unconcerned because he will clean it himself. The employee argues that he is the boss of the company, and does not need to clean the floor, and that he can do it without problem. The boss insists and tells Gustavo to be calm, explaining that, as he was the one who made that mess, he makes a point of cleaning it up. The employee accepts and says that, if you need something, just call him. A woman who was going down the stairs bumps into the boss and, not knowing that he is the owner of the company, asks if he doesn't look where he is, stating that she is already late for a job interview and that he was in the middle of the road, getting in the way. The man, a little embarrassed, apologizes and explains that he tripped and was distracted, and ended up bumping into her unintentionally. The woman then says that he is completely incompetent and that a boss needs to pay attention. She declares that, if she is hired, she will throw out any incompetent like him who is in the company, and tells him to keep her name, Bianca Marquez. She accuses him of being the most incompetent cleaner she's ever seen, saying that he soiled her entire resume. The employee who observes the situation is incredulous, just watching the scene. Very angry, Bianca says that, when she goes down again, she doesn't want to see his face there. The atmosphere becomes tense, with the employee watching and the boss sitting, discouraged. Gustavo approaches again and asks why he didn't reveal right away that he was the owner of the company, letting the situation unfold that way. The boss responds that it is important to show difference and not treat people the same way he was treated. The employee agrees and says that's a good thing. They notice that someone else is approaching and hope that this one is not as arrogant as Bianca. The boss then pretends to stumble again. A man coming towards him asks if he has been hurt and if he needs help. The man bends down and starts picking up everything that was on the ground, helping the boss. The boss asks him why he was there, and the man replies that he came for a job interview. The boss comments that another candidate recently passed by and that she will probably do the interview with him. The man says he is excited and hopes that everything will work out, explaining that he is going through a difficult phase and really needs a job. The boss greets him and asks his name, to which he replies that it is Jeff. They exchange good luck wishes, and the man leaves. Gustavo, observing everything, also greets Jeff and wishes him luck, saying that he seems to be a nice guy and that it would be great to hire him. The boss agrees and decides that he wants to see how the situation unfolds. He calls Gustavo and asks if everything is okay. Gustavo hands him a plate and suggests that he go up with the plate to see what happens next. Bianca is seated, and Jeff approaches asking if he can sit next to her. Bianca allows it, but asks him to drag the chair so it doesn't get so close. Jeff is a little uncomfortable, but does as she asks and asks if she will also participate in the interview. Bianca coldly replies that this is none of his business, but confirms that it is. Jeff comments that this is cool and suggests that they can be colleagues, to which Bianca reacts by saying that she would never be his partner. Gustavo arrives, enters the room and informs him that the boss is going upstairs to interview the two. He offers coffee, water, or something similar. Bianca accepts a coffee, and when Gustavo asks if Jeff wants something, he also asks for a coffee. Bianca then questions whether the company only serves black coffee or if it has something more sophisticated, such as a cappuccino or mate. Gustavo explains that the most elaborate coffees are for superior people. Bianca reacts, saying that she expected more from the company and that, as someone with a resume like hers, she should receive something superior. She accepts the black coffee, but begrudgingly. When the boss enters the room in disguise, he hands the coffee to Jeff first, who thanks him and comments that the coffee is delicious, probably gourmet. Bianca gets angry and asks where her coffee is, demanding that he bring it immediately. Gustavo explains that her coffee will be brought by the chef himself, in a kind of special promotion. The boss finally enters, greets everyone, and Bianca, not realizing that he is the owner, questions what he is doing there, telling him to check the situation of the cafe. She complains that the last incompetent employee didn't bring the coffee and claims that she wants her boss to solve it at once. The boss, laughing, hands her the coffee. Bianca complains, saying that that coffee was horrible and was not up to her. The boss questions how a well-prepared coffee could be bad and takes the opportunity to confront her about her attitude, stating that the real crap was the way she treated him downstairs. He sits in the boss's chair and opens the computer, revealing himself as Dr. Danilo, the owner of the company. Bianca, amazed, asks if he is really the boss or if it is a joke. Gustavo confirms it, saying that there is no catch and that Dr. Danilo is, in fact, the CEO. The boss looks at Bianca's resume and says that, in fact, he doesn't even need to revise it, because he has already made a decision. He explains that, despite his resume, his arrogant and inhumane attitude previously demonstrated means that he cannot hire her, as no one should be treated that way, regardless of their position. Dr. Danilo asks Bianca to leave, informing that Jeff will be the new hire. Bianca tries to defend herself, stating that the company is making a mistake and that she is too superior to be there, threatening to sue them. The boss remains firm, reinforcing that he chose Jeff for the character and humility he demonstrated, and wishes him to grow in the company, reminding him to always maintain his essence and humility. Bianca leaves furious, stating that she will still sue the company, while Dr. Danilo congratulates Jeff, asking him to take the opportunity to grow, never letting arrogance affect who he really is.